Welcome back to episode 2 of the sound deadening material installation. This is Kim from SR. In this episode, I'm going to cover installation of this sound deadening material to the front door, the trunk, and the ceiling of this car. So I'm starting the trunk floor right now. It's kind of dirty, so I cleaned up a little bit. It looks kind of dirty still, but I can't clean up anymore, so let's just insulate this floor too. I cut this material in size, so I'm just gonna put that in there. Okay, front side of the trunk is insulated right here. Now I'm gonna move back to the back side of the trunk that's hidden, well, over there. And we have some friends coming over to help me. Are you helping me install this?
You are? I'm gonna help you measure.
Measure. What are you gonna do with the caliper?
T coordinator.
Okay, T coordinator and measuring coordinator. So, well, anyway, I'm gonna move back to the trunk. So. Okay, I'm gonna work on back side of the trunk, insulating the back side of the trunk, but because this sub box I made, I cannot take it out from the trunk, it's too big, so I have to kind of maneuver this sub box inside the trunk and to make room for me to work on each area. So right now I'm working on this area. I put the light there, it's so bright. Let me turn the light so here, and so now I'm gonna insulate this floor there and the side wall over there, the outer panel of this car. Okay, so the right side of the trunk area is all insulated. Now I'm gonna move on to this side, the driver's side. Do the same thing as I did on this side. Well, the bad news is there's too much wiring going on under there that it's very hard to access the floor and the panels so that I can insulate it. But gotta do it somehow. I guess I'll do it parts by parts. Like that wall first and move on to that wall and the floor. I don't know, just gotta find a way to do it. I don't have to cover 100% of the surface at all, but because I can leave some spaces area and it will be okay. So I finished insulating that area there, this flooring of the trunk and the side wall of that rear fender. And also I went ahead did the trunk, the bottom, the spare wheel area. I insulated all that with the material. Okay, so just like I did so on the rear door, let's take the wall panel off. Well, actually I took the panel off already on the front door, so it's off. Okay, so the plastic material has been removed, exposing this dirty inside of the door like I've seen previously on the rear door. I'm going to clean all this up, take this rubber thing off, and also remove this foam pad or whatever they have in there. Remove that so I can insulate this outer panel of this door also. So I clean up the door panel inside as much as I can. So let's start installing these insulation materials inside of the door first, then move on to outside here. Let's work on that. So the inside of the door is insulated. I didn't film the process of installing these materials inside because it takes time for me to cut and to put it in there nice and clean, so I didn't film it. Okay, so I have finished installing insulation material on the inner side of this door. I made up most of the holes. I left some small holes, but I don't think that matters. The main purpose of this insulation is to block noise coming in from outside. So hopefully this will do a good job blocking noise from outside, making inside of my car quieter. So this is the door panel of this passenger door, and I think I can actually install some of the extra insulation material in the inside of this door panel too. So I was actually going to install this sound insulation material to cover whole inside of this door inner panel, but because how thick this insulation material is, about 10 millimeters thick, I can't really put anything on it like right here or right there, because that will be too thick inside of the door panel. Otherwise I cannot install this door panel back onto the door. So I'm just gonna install it right there where it's not gonna be interfering with anything. Okay, so the inner door panel is put back in the passenger side door. Now let's move on to driver side. Okay, currently working on the driver side door. I just removed everything, the black tape that was there, and the inside of the panel I installed the sound deadening material, and I'm starting to work on the outside of this inner door. Alright, driver side door finished. Let's put the inner door panel back on. Well, before I put this inner door panel back on the door, I gotta insulate this also. So I still have some material left over, so let's do that here. So I have finished installing insulation material to inside of the inner panel of the driver's seat. I don't know if it's gonna do anything with this coverage. I just did it just to make me feel good, but I still have this much material left to use. I decided to do the more sound deadening inside the car, but this time I'm doing it to the inside of the car. So I'm working on taking off the ceiling liner. So right now I have taken some pillars off. I'm gonna have to take that pillar off to access the inside of the ceiling. Okay, the ceiling liner has been removed, so I see a bare metal there. I'm gonna insulate that. I'm just keeping the ceiling liner over there on top of the cargo box, but yes, let's start installing the insulation material there. Just to compare the before and after sound proofing performance of this material, I'm just gonna knock the ceiling. This is the sound before installing the material. So hopefully that sound will be more dull after installing that. The insulation material is installed in the ceiling. Let's see how it's gonna sound like on the top of the ceiling. So I feel like I hear less echoes that the ceiling was creating. So hopefully that insulation in the ceiling will block the sound from coming in from outside, because this roof rack and the cargo box that's sitting on top of the roof rack makes a lot of wind noise. Okay, the ceiling liner has been put back in place where it belongs. Now that I have finished installing all the sound insulation material inside of the car, under the carpet of this trunk, I'm gonna have to put everything back because it's empty here, empty there. So I'm gonna have to put back those carpets, floor mats, seats, air tank setup that I had in the trunk. So I'm gonna work on putting everything back, I'm not gonna film that because it's gonna take me like an hour or two, so... Okay, I spent a few hours putting everything back together, so the front seats are in place, the center consoles are in place. I just haven't put the back seat yet, but it's easy. I just need to put that seat piece and the back piece in place, so that's not too hard to do. I also have to put a air tank for the air ride here, but that's also not hard to do. So that was the installation of this sound deadening material to the whole interior of this car. I hope the noise level inside this car will go down, but I'll find out in a few weeks when the weather gets warmer. I can take my car out for some driving in town. So I'll let you guys know in another episode how this material is actually performing. But if you like this video series, please like and subscribe. We are always looking for new subscribers. Thanks for watching. This is Ken from RSR. Rise out!